But we begin with tragic breaking news out of Macomb, where a trip to class turns into tragedy. A 14-year-old student is hit and killed while walking to school, and the driver, a fellow student. And that does top our news this noon. This unfortunate story, it's just horrible. Two girls who are juniors at Dakota High School were riding together to school this morning in this black Jeep that you see here involved in the crash when they hit a sophomore as she was crossing the street on her way to school. We do want to get out to Local 4's Lauren Podell this morning, who's live. And Lauren, we can only imagine what these girls' families are going through, let alone the students at school.
You know, Sheriff Wickersham here in Macomb County, Rhonda, really said it best. He said, look, Dakota High School, such a large school, but really a tight-knit community. And we've seen throughout the morning and now into the afternoon, so many of Victoria Cartwright's friends come here to the scene and watch this investigation unfold where this area, in the area where this young girl was walking. We are getting our first look at Victoria, some of her friends passing along a picture, but so many mourning this girl's loss. While this is all under investigation. Take a look. With shoes lying in the middle of the road, damage to the hood of this Jeep Wrangler, tragedy has struck this Macomb Township community after 14-year-old Victoria Cartwright was hit and killed while crossing Heidenreich Road early Friday morning. Macomb County Sheriff Anthony Wickersham.
It appears that the victim was in the roadway. Why she was in the roadway is still to be determined, whether she was crossing or walking or not aware of the surroundings.
The sophomore student simply walking to nearby Dakota High School when she was hit. Early parts of the investigation show this Jeep Wrangler, driven by a 16-year-old Macomb Township girl, was heading southbound when she hit Cartwright. The driver also had a 16-year-old passenger with her, both of them on their way to Dakota too. Neighbor Joyce Gatien woke to the sounds of emergency crews.
I heard a bunch of ambulance coming and going, so you know, I hear that a lot, you know, being on Heinrich here, so I didn't really pay any attention. And then I happened to look out the window and I seen a bunch of people out here, and then of course I heard the helicopter above.
Joyce lives at the corner of Vine and Heidenreich where the accident happened, a dark, busy area, and this could have happened to anyone at that time.
It's dark and it's very, very busy. You know, like I'm probably a half a mile from the school here, and sometimes I can't even get out of the road here.
And sheriff deputies who have been out here investigating this scene for hours now, really since 8 this morning, they second that, Rhonda. They also say this is a dark area. There are several schools, junior high, elementary, Dakota High School. So many students getting picked up by the bus, walking to school, being dropped off by parents. And you can see right now as you take a live look, it does appear sheriff deputies are starting to wrap up the investigation here on the scene. And we should point out Dakota High School, they did release a statement. They sent a letter home to all students, all parents and faculty, saying that social workers, counselors and psychologists will be at Dakota High School as early as today to help get these students through their grief. Reporting live from Macomb Township, Lauren Podell, back to you.
So heartbreaking, Lauren. Just looking at the scene there, it doesn't look like there's any crosswalks or anything. I don't even know if it's too soon to talk about this, but are the sheriff's department, are they talking about who may have been at fault in this accident?
Well, that's really the key focus of this accident reconstruction and the investigation that they're going through right now that looks like they're wrapping up. But Sheriff Wickersham wanted to say, look, they're not pointing blame at anyone quite yet, but they did confiscate that Jeep. They're going to be holding that as evidence and looking through every inch of that. They also took both of the 16-year-old girls' cell phones who were in the Jeep to investigate whether or not they may have been on their phone at the time of the accident. So a lot still has to be looked into, but we'll certainly bring it to you as soon as that investigation comes to an end. Back to you.
All right, Lauren. Certainly our hearts and prayers go out to the family and the school family as well. Thank you.